Hello again, everybody. This is Rich with High Percent Trading. This video is another one of the Octopus templates video. This particular Octopus template video is going to show all of the S2 type videos, all the S2 type templates rather. So actually there's quite a few of them. Let's start at the very first one. I've got the Octopus loaded here, and what we're going to do is we're going to load, in this case, the first one that's up here on the list, and that is the 717 S2 Alt W. Okay, we're going to click open, and then, well, after we select it, click open, and then apply it, and then reload NinjaScript. And so you can see it's fairly selective as far as the trades are concerned. We got a couple of nice trades. This is crude oil, actually. Couple of nice trades up in here. Now let's take a look at what it's doing. Okay, so we're using Octopus 1. We are not using Octopus 2. Okay, so we're only going to concentrate now on Octopus 1 on this template. It's using logic 4, which is the bifurcated logic. As you remember, the first 5 indicators, anything in the first 5 selected has to be true, or anything in the second 5 selected in that subgroup has to be true. So in the first 5, we're using the deep retraces on the dynamic trend. We're using the S2 indicator, and that's the green one at these threshold levels. We're using a fairly sensitive reversal bar, and that is it for that series. In the second subset, again, we're using the DT zones, the dynamic trend, and again, deep retraces on the dynamic trend. We're using the S2 indicator, but this one is the red one. And we have a little more stringent thresholds. We have 10 and 90. 10 and 90, so 10 on the bottom, 90 on the top, and again, it's using reversal bars. So if either one of these subsets occur, we're going to get trades, and of course, it's going to be with the trend. In this case, the trend was down. The S2 was here. You can see this first one was the red S2 triggering, and the second one was actually looks like both of them triggering. Okay, and then of course this one over here looked like both triggering as well. You're only going to get one arrow, but it looked like both conditions were correct. So again, these are generally going to be pretty extreme trades in the range. For the most part, it's going to be pretty much in the area of probably at least band 5 and higher for shorts, probably band 3 or lower for longs, but in a strong trend that could actually come all the way down to the mid band. All right, now let's take a look at the next one. Then the next one in the sequence, we're going to do load from file, and we're going to go ahead and select the next one down, and that's going to be the S2 Alt W2. So we're going to open that, apply. You can see it's here, and then reload NinjaScript. Before we do that, I want to comment. Some of you, when you load this, you may not have the S2 in front. So go ahead and change the name on that so you can make it correspond up. All you have to do is click in front of the A right here, type in an S2, apply, and then do save to file, and just come back down and resave it under the same name. Okay, that we'll have it saved under the same name. I'm not going to do that because we already had that, but I'm going to apply, and then I'm going to reload NinjaScript to see what the differences are here. All right, without even looking at the logic, I can already see that Octopus 2 in this one is active. So let's take a look. Octopus 1 is active, Octopus 2 is active, Octopus 1, let's go to it. It looks like Octopus 1 is, it's not the same as the previous one, so let's go over the differences. Octopus 1 is using, again, the dynamic trend, so it's got to be with the trend on deeper retraces. Now it's using the HPT6 waves. In this case, it's using the 12, 12, 12, and 4. You can see this, it's colored down here at the bottom in the red. That's actually the 12, 12, 12, and 4 down here in the red. So in order to be short, you've got to have the correct setting with the dynamic trend. Deeper retraces, you've got to have the S2 waves as well, that it uses the reversal bar. And those are the ones that it uses. Okay, and it also uses S2, and again that's the green S2 with the same settings as the previous Octopus. And then we get to the second subset again because it's using the bifurcated subset logic again. And so this one again is using the dynamic trends, deep retraces. It's using the waves, the S2 waves again, like we mentioned above. And this one is using the fast, which is the red S2, again at the 10 and 90 levels with reversal bars. So the difference on Octopus 1 with this template, it's basically the same as the previous one we just showed you, the previous template, with the differences. The S2 waves were also added in here, so you have to have the waves correct on this one as well. If we go over to Octopus 2 now, again, this is using, again, the bifurcated logic in here. It's using S2, again, with a little different thresholds here now. This is the fast, this is the red one, the S2, at thresholds of 8 and 92. Again, it's also using the dynamic trend and reversal bars. And then the second subset of logic is this one is using the waves, the 12, 12, 12, 4 waves. That's this red one down here. Reversal bars. And again, the S2, which is the red one with the 8 and 92. So the first subset here, there's no waves. The second subset is the same as the first, but also using the waves. And that's the difference on this one. Let's take a look at the next one in the series. We're going to do load from file, and we're going to scroll down and find the Alt W3, the S2 Alt W3. We're going to click open, click apply, and then right click reload NinjaScript. All right, let's take a look at this one. You can already tell from the chart that it's using both Octopus 1 and Octopus 2. Octopus 1, again, is using the bifurcated logic of the subsets. Again, we can cover this quickly using the dynamic trend, using the 12, 12, 12, 4 waves, using the green S2, using reversal bars, and that's the first subset. The second subset then is also using the dynamic trend, not using the waves, using the red S2, and using reversal bars. Octopus 2, again, has a little bit different periods in here. And again, it's using the S2, the red one, with 8 and 92 for thresholds. And again, these thresholds are thresholds you can work with. You can make them less stringent or more stringent just by changing the numbers in here. Remember, one of the standards that we use is 20 and 80. but this one's a little more stringent. All right. It's also using the dynamic trend deep retraces. Some of you may want to use DT zones. They're in here. I know several of you have been really talking about the DT zones here lately. So it's here that you can activate if you want. I'm not going to cover that now, but if there's any questions on that, you can bring it up in the webinars if you like. And then, of course, it uses reversal bars. And then the second part of the logic, again, it's using the 12, 12, 12, 4 waves. It's using the S2, the dynamic trend deep retraces, reversal bars, and then the fast S2. So that's pretty much the same as the first one. Now that was Octopus. That was the Octopus 2. Okay, and then we covered Octopus 1. So you'll notice for the most part you get a lot of the same, both 1 and 2 firing at the same time, but you'll also notice if you scroll that you will find some independent ones as well due to the nature of the strength or weaknesses of those thresholds. Here's an example over here of Octopus 1 firing but not Octopus 2. And another example, Octopus 1 firing but not Octopus 2. But for the most part, they're pretty close as far as the setups are concerned. Okay, let's go to our next template. We're going to load. Remember, we just put the W3 in. We're going to load and take the next one sequenced. This is going to be the Alt WCT. CT stands for counter trend. You're going to get some deep counter trend trades on this one. And again, when we pull this up, these particular types of trades are not going to be for everybody. Okay, so here are some of the trades. Now you can tell this is a deep counter trend type template. I think for the most part, every single trade is going to be against the overall major trend as determined by the dynamic trend, and also pretty much, and we'll check this out, probably against the waves 2 as well. Let's take a look. As I said, this type of approach is not for everybody, but the reward to risk on these trades are extremely high, as you can see from here and then over here as well. And I'll talk about some additional ways to filter this. Remember, these templates, some of them are the just take plug and play and you can run them. Others, like this one, are in here. They're robust enough to trade by themselves, but they will get more losing trades than the others. But I'm going to show some techniques, especially perhaps for this one, to help improve the timing on this. And I'll give you some hints. We're not going to make the template. You can make the template yourself once you have this. But let's take a look at what it's doing first of all. All right. So again, the name is the S2 Alt WCT. CT stands for counter trend. All right, notice our persistence is a little bit bigger here. It's 7, and I'm going to touch on that again. What is it doing? Okay, well, the first one, that's trend specific. Okay, so the first part, and it's using the bifurcated logic, first part is trend specific. It's using the S2 green with thresholds, that's standard thresholds. It's using the fairly sensitive reversal bar. And it's also using the red S2. So it's using both the red S2 and the green S2. Both of them have to be in position. All right, the second part, notice it's not trend specific. It's not using the waves. Okay, well, there is no second part, so I should have stopped when I was ahead. The logic is 4. We could leave the logic at that. If you wanted to change this logic to 0, that's fine too. There is no second subset. Okay, so the first subset is the only one we're using. All right, when we go to the second Octopus now, all right, because it's also being used. Okay, notice we're using the S2, and again, that is really tweaked out here. It's 2 and 98, it's way out there. Okay, so it basically has to be pegged. This is kind of redundant, I believe, if it's the same, and it is. So this really is not adding much here at all. We could probably actually take that out, but we'll leave it in for now. It's also using the trend. It's using reversal bars, and that's it. Okay, so again, this is using logic 4, but it's only using the first half on the counter trend. So let's talk about ways that you can improve this, right? Ways you can improve this. One way you can improve these setups would be to use additionally, what's coming to mind here is once you get this set up here, for example, you can use the profit, this profit, to trigger your trades. You can also use the boxing indicator, but in this type of setup, the profit, just setting it to like 1 or minus 0.1 for shorts, produces a nice trade here, okay? You did not get the trade until over here. That would have been your entry, not here. Your entry would have been here. And of course, your entry short then would have been here. You still would have gotten a nice entry short here. And as we came down through here, you would not have gotten any of these entries long. You would have eventually got this one here, and then you would have caught this one here as well. So that's the way that you can filter these out. Now, in order to do that, you're going to have to take your persistence and change it to a larger number. You're going to have to probably put 20 in here. So you can experiment with that. Put 20 in here. Same thing over here on persistence. See how I did 20? This is a large persistence here. So you could go with a larger persistence in here as well. Okay? That's just a thought. I'm not going to make that change. I'll leave that up to you. One other point I kind of overlooked as I was discussing this as well. Let's go to, we're still looking at the S2 Alt W counter trend, CT. Note, this is using the HP6 DT, okay, with the trend, but notice what I did on the trend. The trend is not, it's not 48 anymore, it's 12. It's a 12-2, okay, which basically means when it gets way overdone, it's looking for a trend change, but a trend change of a different magnitude, okay? So that's different. I don't think we've introduced that before in prior templates. We may have talked about it, but that is one of the significant differences here on this counter trend. So I'll pay attention to that. On the HPT6DT, that's a 12-2. Very small trend, and it's also the same thing over here on Octopus 2. Okay, Octopus 2 is also using the 12-2. Okay, so I just did wish to point that out. I kind of glossed over that and missed that when we were discussing this, but that is a significant difference here. That's what's basically allowing these types of trades way up here. Notice this dynamic trend, that's the standard 48, but the 12-2 changed over here. Okay, so just wanted to point that out. Now let's go take a look at the next one in our series. We're going to do load from file. I think we've got maybe 3 or 4 more to go here. It's going to be the S2 Alt W S2. So that's a little bit different because it's the S2 Alt W S2. Let's go ahead and open that, apply, and let's reload NinjaScript. All right, now this one, looks like it's only using Octopus 1. I can tell that from the black arrows. All right, so again, only using Octopus 1 on this. It's using the bifurcated logic, logic 4. It's using the standard dynamic trend, so it's got to be with the trend, deeper retraces. It's using the green S2 at the standard thresholds. It's using the quicker reversal bars. All right, and then the second set of logic, again, using dynamic trend, deeper retraces. It's using the S2, and that's the red, and reversal bar. So all this one is doing is just using Octopus 1. There's no Octopus 2. It's pretty straightforward. All right, I believe we've got just 2 more to go here. I know some of this is getting probably a little bit tedious, but again, the purpose of this is to show you all of the differences in the templates, why they're doing what they're doing. So we're going to load to the file, and actually there's 3 more that we have to do. The first one's going to be the S2, Alt W S2 Phantom. Okay, so we're going to be taking lower trades here. We're going to apply, and then we're going to reload NinjaScript. All right, so you can see from this, we're getting some very extreme trades here. This will be very selective, very extreme. Again, the reward to risk on these trades is very high. Let's take a look at what it's doing. It's using Octopus 1 and not using Octopus 2, okay? So on Octopus 1, again, it's using, it looks like the bifurcated logic, but we'll verify that. Yes, it is. So again, we're using the dynamic trend, deep retraces, but notice it's got to be band 3 or lower for longs, band 6 or higher for shorts. It's using the S2, the green S2 at those thresholds. It's using the more conservative reversal bars. And in the second subset, dynamic trend was the same as far as those phantom entries. And this one's using the red S2, same thresholds and reversal bars, okay? And then not using Octopus 2. Now I can already see these are some great entries here and some great entries here. I'm going to show you how to tweak this as we were coming down. Okay, we got a long trade here and a long trade here. Neither one of these worked. And as I indicated before, you can use the profit in here to try to filter this. So here's what I'm going to do. We're going to go ahead and just show how to do this. And keep in mind now, you're going to get a later entry. Your entry is going to be over here short and probably over here short, but you're going to avoid problems. You're going to avoid these trades here. You're going to avoid this trade here. And you should avoid these 2 here as well. So let's see if we can cherry pick these trades out. How are we going to do that? Okay, we're going to go in our Octopus 1 settings. Now I want to add the profit in here. Okay, we need to add the profit. I don't think we have any of them here that I can copy. Let's see if we can go over here and copy one. No, we don't. So we're going to go to our common settings. I want to say, give me the info, apply, right? Let's look up our indicators here first of all, right? Our indicator list is indicator number 3. Okay, indicator 3, and we're going to use plot 0, rule 4. Okay, so what are we going to do on that? Let's go to here. We have a blank space. So I'm going to type in right here 3 and apply. And you see we've got the profit, right? And what did we say? For our plot and rule, plot 0, rule 4, right? Plot 0, rule 4. We're going to do the same thing over here. We typed in 3. We can put that right here. So we go 3, apply, plot 0, rule 4, and make sure this is 0, 0 down here again, right? 0, 0. It's just a standard profit. Now, one thing we need to do, we don't need 0, 0. We need 0.1. So if somebody was in the webinar here, they would remind me of this. 0.1 and minus 0.1. Okay, 0.1 minus 0.1 is what we want. That means if it's red, it's short. If it's blue, it's long. And we want to make the same change up here, right? 0.1 and minus 0.1. And then we're going to apply. And then, of course, we're going to reload NinjaScript. Just 2 more things I want to add on this, too, as long as we're on this. So, again, we made the changes with the profit in here, right? We're going to use the profit as our trigger. Remember persistence. We'll have to include persistence and increase it. I've chosen 20. You don't want to go too big. Otherwise, you'll start picking up some trades that you don't want. If you go too small, you may be missing some. I use 20. That seems to be a good value. And the other thing you need to do, because we're using the profit as our trigger, we need to turn off reversal bars. Okay, so reversal bars was on, you need to turn it off. All right. Now I'm actually going to go ahead and save this. I created this. We're not going to include this in our templates because we already have enough, but I'm going to go ahead and save this. I'm going to call this, I'm running out of room. I'm going to skip the S2 here. I'm going to skip the Alt W. I need to get some room. So we'll call this the S2 Phantom Profit. Okay. So I'm going to apply and save that to the file. And so that's called what? The S2 Phantom Profit. All right, so that's saved. All right, let's look at the very last one. I think the last one we've got to cover here on these S2s. Actually, we had this one, the Phantom OT. Let's take a look at what that one is. So I applied it and reloaded it, and it looks like what this one uses is also the outer limits. Okay, so again, it's not using Octopus 2, just Octopus 1. It's using the, I think that's the dual logic. Let's make sure. Yep. So it's using the bifurcated logic with the deep retraces on the dynamic trend. It's using the outer limits indicator set at an extreme value. It's using the S2, the green one, at the 2080 thresholds using reversal bars. And it's also using, again, dynamic trend, deep retraces, outer limits, and the S2 red one and reversal bars. Okay, and that's the one. It probably doesn't produce many trades, so you got there was a short trade here. Normally we didn't get the other one here because we didn't have our outer limits. Again, I think this one was more to show you how you can incorporate other indicators in here. You had a nice trade here, but then again, you had this one that failed. And again, the way to work with this is you could do just like I did in the previous example, bring the profit into it as well as a trigger. You could have added that. You would have avoided this trade as well. Okay, so I think this one was more. This particular template's not really designed as a plug and play. It's designed for you to work with some more, showing you how you can bring additional indicators in. Now let's look at, I think, what our last S2 template is, and I believe that's an S2 right edge. Yes, so as we load to the file, you see we have the right edge S2 right here. We're going to go ahead and open that one, and we're going to apply that, and then we're going to reload NinjaScript. Okay, so this is the right edge S2, and I've gone ahead and put the right edge indicator up here as well. This is just using Octopus 1, not Octopus 2. Again, now this is just using a logic of 0, which means everything has to be correct here. So again, it's using the right edge boxes, it's using reversal bars, and of course the right edge boxes themselves are trend specific. Okay, so that's why the dynamic trend is not activated here. They are trend specific, and they're also deep retrace specific. So that's why you don't have to activate that. Again, it's using the S2, the green one, a little different threshold though. Okay, but it's also using the S2 red at the deeper thresholds. Okay, and those are the primary differences. Now, again, what I would do on this one, if you really like this, I would incorporate or look to incorporate some of the same types of changes that we talked about here by increasing persistence and perhaps using the profit as your trigger. And of course, you'd have to turn off reversal bars, but you'll see you had a nice right edge entry here and a nice right edge entry here. Two really nice shorts. But if you come back and look a little bit further, okay, you did have a long entry here that really didn't pan out. But if you would have used persistence and used the profit as an entry, you would have avoided this trade. And of course, you would have avoided this trade as well. So again, keep that in mind. Again, this is a template that you can work with and polish up a little bit. You would have missed this one as well. So this is an important change that you should consider if you like this. Of course, you would have gotten the trade-off over here using your persistence. So that's a good combination here. Take a look at that, and we've covered that in the last 2 or 3 templates, okay? All right, that's going to do it for this analysis. We've covered all of these templates, and we have one more series to go. That's going to be the algo bands, the quarterback, and then the standard template. All right, thanks for watching, and we'll see. I hope to see most of you in the analysis trade rooms in the upcoming days. Thanks for watching. Bye now.